Key levels are like memory magnets for the financial markets. And in this video, I'm going to talk you through some of my favorite key levels for trading the US30. So key levels are drawn onto the chart using the horizontal line tool. They are horizontal lines which show us the price points where the market is prone to having a reaction. So the reactions can vary. The market can break a level, it can break and retest the level. It can have a sharp reversal at the level, and it can also have a very slow reversal at the level. And it can also hover around the level as it waits to decide what it's going to do next. But the first step is to identify where the levels are, draw them on, and then you can observe what the market does as it approaches and when it hits. If you're excited to learn some of my favorite key levels for the US30, hit the thumbs up button before we get started. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to Thinkmarkets now as well. Four of my favorite key levels for the US30 are the all-time high, the previous all-time high, New York midnight, and the open and close of all previous days. I'm going to show you how to find all of them and how to draw on the key levels on Thinkmarkets. So I use the horizontal line tool. Along the side here, you can see that there are drop-down menus. I use this one, the second one down, and the horizontal line tool is here. I usually star it so it shows up on my page at all times because I use it so often. So the all-time high is the first one, and it's very easy to spot because it's literally the highest point that the market has ever reached. It is worth being fairly accurate with it, so you want to go in really close and make sure that you have got the right point. I think we've got the right point here. So the all-time high is a good key level on all markets. However, all markets will act differently at the all-time high. So if you're using this on any other market, you want to be aware of where it's at, but you also want to be aware of what the particular characteristics are of that market as it is approaching the all-time high. As an example, I trade both the US30 and NASDAQ, which are both US indices. However, both of those markets have different characteristics as they approach the all-time high. So I actually use different strategies and different approaches for each of them. There are a couple little quirks of the US30 as it approaches the all-time high. One of them is that sometimes the market will take out the all-time high. So it will go just above it, and then it might have a reversal. But also what it often does is it almost stalls and it slows down as it's approaching the all-time high, doesn't quite make it, and then reverses. I'm going to show you a couple of those examples here. Can you see how this was an all-time high at one point? The next day, it took out the all-time high and then it reversed. The next day, it nearly took it out and then reversed. Both of these are quite typical of how the US30 acts around an all-time high. So you need to draw on the all-time high, know where it is, and then when you see the market approaching, you'll understand the different ways that it has a tendency to act, and you can make decisions accordingly. So we're just going to look at this one now, because this was the previous all-time high before it got taken out here. I'm going to go into the 15-minute chart so we can see it a little bit closer. Can you see how at this point, the market almost used this area as a launching pad? So it had a really big reaction from this all-time high. It then broke down here and then continued to move down. So you want to have these levels drawn up even when it was an all-time high. You also want to have the previous all-time high on there as well, because both are excellent levels. The next level I'm going to show you is New York midnight. So you're going to have to first of all figure out what the time difference is between the country you're in and New York. I'm in the UK, so the time difference is 5 hours. New York is 5 hours behind, which means that New York midnight for me is at 5 a.m. UK time. So I'm just going to go to the 1-minute chart now, and then we're going to look at 5 a.m. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the vertical line tool to help me here. And I'm going to go to 4:59. So that's 1 minute before New York midnight. The reason I do this is so that I can see the New York midnight candle really clearly, so I can make sure that I have a really accurate line on it. So we're just going to go in a lot of detail. So this one where the line is at is the 4:59 one, which means this red candle here is New York midnight. And because it's a red candle, it means it starts at the top because it closed down. If it was a green candle, I'd draw the line at the bottom. So I'm just going to draw this along the top here. And you see how this was when New York opened. You can also add some text to it. So I'm going to just put New York midnight so I know what this relates to. And this becomes a good key level for the rest of the trading day. Can you see we've had a variety of little reactions to it, and the market kind of uses this point at different points, and it becomes a level where it almost comes back to. Sometimes you have more dramatic examples than this, but on this particular day, it almost held as a nice resistance level for the trading day. And the final key level that I'm going to show you are the previous open and closes of all other days. Now, the easiest way to do this is to go to the day chart and just have a look at where the price is currently at. So can you see the price is currently where the perforated line is? So what you want to do is you want to see where all the opens and closes are close to where the price is currently at. There are so many opens and closes on all of the candles, but you're not really interested in the ones which are far away from where the price currently is, because you're not likely to have the market moving there in the next day. So you're just really looking for the ones that are in this sort of region, which are around where the perforated line is. So you grab your horizontal line tool, and the trick way is just to look for the open and the close of all the candles which are close by where you're at. So you're looking for basically the top and the bottom of the thick part of the candle. So I can see a few of them here. Can you see this is the one here? That's the top of that candle. This is from these ones here. And then I'm just going to grab another one. I can go on here. I can see that there's the close there, the open there. We've got a couple others here. They're roughly in the same region, but actually I can see that there's even another one. If we go in a little bit closer, can you see we've got a couple in a row. I actually like it when there's a few in a row because it actually does make it a little bit stronger. And then we also have another one here. Can you see that's where that one opened? And we also have one down here. So I'm just going to draw that on there. And I'm also going to draw this one on here. So there we go, we've got one down there. I usually do around 5 below and 5 above where the market currently is at. So you can see on this one, we've got 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to do a couple more. That one there and this one here. Now, let's go to the 15-minute chart, and then we can see what happens around these points. Remember I said when there's a lot clustered together, they actually become quite strong levels. So you can see that when these ones are all clustered together, although it looks a little bit messy, it actually shows us quite clearly where the market is having some kind of reaction. Again, this was the point where we had this almost launch pad happening here. And you can see where the market has kind of used these points in different areas. So now you know some of my favorite key levels for the US 30. The next step is to practice drawing them on yourself. And if you want to take it really seriously, you can even create a little spreadsheet so you can tally up how often the market reacts a certain way at each key level. This is really good just for deepening your understanding of these levels and how strong they are and how the market reacts to them. If you have any strategy ideas or any theories, then you can also test them out on the Traders Gym at Thinkmarkets. This is a simulator, so it uses virtual money whilst you're still practicing and testing out any new ideas. If you found this video helpful, give it a little thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to Thinkmarkets now as well.